No discussion on any illustrative program that deals with mathematical images would be complete without talking about the pen tool. And although we're far from complete, this is a good time to bring it up. Aldus Corporation brought Adobe Illustrator to life in 1988, and it was bought by Adobe, rest is history, blah, blah, blah. The pen tool was in this program in 1988, and it's right over here. Actually, there are 4 features to the pen tool: add, delete, and convert. Let's tear off that and bring it over. That tool really has not fundamentally changed in all the years that this program has been here, because you can't change something that deals with the fundamental way the program works. When you use a pen tool, you are making objects by clicking, making your own pen points, strokes, fills, everything by hand. It's a very illustrative tool. It's not necessarily easy to master, but once you get into it, you can do some pretty cool stuff. Let's just do some 101 stuff right now, though. Come over here with the tool, and you will notice something. There is a little X next to the cursor. When you see an X next to the tool, you're about to create a new object, even if there are others on the screen. So you click your mouse and you make your first anchor point. You will notice the X goes away. Whenever you see the cursor bare like that, it means you may not see that anchor, but if you click somewhere else, I'm going to connect to it. Now notice I didn't drag, I just clicked. We're going to come a little bit over here, say about there, and click again. Think of it this way. You've got a board, you put 2 nails in the board, those are our anchor points, and you stretched a rubber band between them. That's the stroke or the path. So we're creating a single straight line path because we're not clicking. If I come over here and click again, it's going to keep connecting me until I finish the job. If I come back to this one right here, you'll see a little circle come up. That means you're over what we define as the genesis or the starting point. And if you click, it closes the shape off. You now have a closed shape, and the X returns to the cursor because it's ready to draw another object. We have drawn, I would say, the simplest shape you could draw in any 2-dimensional object program, and that's a triangle. It's got 3 anchor points, although we did technically click 4 times. We clicked here, 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 and then we re-clicked over the top of the original to create the shape and close it out. Let's do this. Let's change the color so we can just see that stroke. All right, so we've got that done. We've got a triangle, big deal. Actually, it is a big deal. Once you learn this tool and master it, you can have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to get rid of that by deleting it. How about curve lines? If I come over here and drag, because if all you could do is straight lines, this wouldn't be very useful. Click, but this time, drag. Now, when you're dragging, you're creating an anchor point, that nail in the board, if you will. And when you drag, what you're actually doing is creating what we call direction lines. The direction lines will influence the curvature of that rubber band we stuck between the 2 nails. Let go, and then come over, say, to here, and click again. Now you'll notice the line begins to curve. Right now I have a curved line connecting to a straight because I haven't dragged yet. Now if I go this way, I can create a bent shape, kind of like a tilde. I can come this way and maybe create one that's more of a semicircle, like a cup or a container. Whatever I want to do. Let's stop right about there. If we want to close the shape off to make an oval, come back to the original point, wait for that circle to come up, right? Click and drag down, and then release, and you've made, in this case, you've made an oval. Now there are other ways to do this. If your goal is to create an oval, you can come over here and go into the ellipse tool and actually draw your own oval. There is a difference though. The difference is this. Let me go to my direct selection tool. To create my shape only took 2 anchor points. If you use the shape drawing tool, it actually creates it using 4 anchor points. You say, well, what's the difference? In Adobe Illustrator, anchor points are math that tell the computer how to draw the shape. So when you enlarge a shape in Illustrator, what you're doing is changing the math on how big the shape is. That's why it's resolution independent. That math takes up space. The more anchor points in a document, the larger the file size. Now, if I were drawing an oval, I would probably still use that tool because I'm not going to choke on 2 anchor points. But this adds up after a while. You can make the same type of shapes a lot of your drawing tools will do for you, and you can make them less complex. In the long run, though, it's going to take you a little bit more time to make that shape, so it's a trade-off. Time savings balanced by complexity. It's all up to you. Let me go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and get rid of these two for now. Let me show you one that's already been drawn to save time. Something maybe like that. It's very simple. It's actually just a bunch of strokes. As you can see, that's all these are. Let me pick up my selection tool. All they are a bunch of lines. So that begs another point about this tool. It's an illustrative tool. It doesn't help you do anything. You have to have a little creative part of you working on the inside to make this tool work on the outside. So if you're not having a great time doing illustrative work using the pen tool, there's no reason you can't still use this program without this tool. But the more you practice with it, I think the better you're going to get with it, and I think the better your illustrative drawings are going to get. Just like anything else, it requires perseverance and a little bit of practice. Now, that's all we're going to cover in this one segment, but let's just stop here. I just wanted to give you a little 101 on this tool. And let's move into the next segment, get a little bit more complex. What do you say?